So it's in my screen is saying recording in progress. In yours as well? On a
Did
corner, on the left side top corner is saying recording.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have started recording also. Okay, perfect. So, hi Yashasvi, and welcome to the interview. I'll take you through a couple of interview questions, and I would suggest that you respond with the true facts. And at the end of the interview, I'll give you some feedback. During the interview, if you have any questions, don't hesitate in interrupting me. And if you have any particular questions for me, we'll have some time in the end for you to ask. Okay. So, Yashasvi, take me through your resume or tell me something about yourself.
So my name is Yashasvi Bhardwaj. I studied my bachelor from Kurukshetra University in economics, and after that, I got opportunity to pursue my career in operation management. I am going through with many options, but I found operation management is a good option for myself. So that's why I just shifted my everything to Canada. Now I'm pursuing operation management, and in few subjects I'm getting very good response. I'm understanding these things, and I hope this thing will work for me in future. As well as I have my interest in the sports activities as well. I represent my state in few games. I participated in my national game. So I participated in many games such as kabaddi, kushti, as well as the football. But I got I also won state level competition in the kabaddi and kushti as well. And apart from this, I play some virtual game as well. I won a state level tournament in PUBG Mobile League, and
Okay.
yeah, and from there I got a, s- a certain amount of cash prize as well. Because of this, my family allows me that I can do something on my own. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, so tell me, about a situation when you were into a problem and you had to solve that problem.
Well, many time I was in the problem and I have to solve on my own. So just like a few days back, I was going through some financial crisis because when I just got into the Canada, so I don't know about the rules and regulations and what steps I have to take as a beginner in Canada. So that time I am facing a problem that I have to arrange my fees. I have no break in between the courses, and I have to manage my expenses as well. I have no jobs. So that time, what I do is I do the time management. I just arrange my things in an order. I give priority to the things which matters me the most, and least priority to the things which are least important. So because of that, I not only get out of the financial crisis, but I got 3.88 grade, 3.8 CGPA in my first semester as well. And right now I'm doing well. And I hope I will continue this in the future.
Great, great. So, what would you say is one of your successful projects or achievement?
Successful achievement till now in my life is my last semester, which I got on my studies. On almost every subject, I scored more than 80%, and I got a really good feedback from my professor as well. So this is the one of the best achievement that I till now is got. Apart from this, when I at the age of 18, when I won 1 lakh rupees as a prize pool of my through my gaming, that is also very milestone you can say, because winning 1 lakh rupees as amount of cash prize is a huge amount for me. So these are
Sure. Great. So, tell me, how do you go about building relationships with your co-workers or team members or fellow students? What is your approach to create relationships?
uh, actually in my starting, when I was in school, I was in hostel, so I was not in touch with my family for many months. So always been there with the people. I'm an extrovert person, so I love to do activities with the people that I don't know, and I always consider their opinions. Like if their opinion, if I know that this person don't know about this particular thing, but still I care about his opinion and I listen about his opinion. And that's the thing. I think this is the most important thing that everyone should do, that he should listen to everyone's opinion. You should take it or not, but at least everyone should listen their opinion. And I play many sport, as I told earlier, so I know about the teamwork. I lead as a captain to my team. So I guess this is the main thing that everyone should, and I also do.
So, tell us about a time where you had a difference of opinion with either your, if you have been working in the past with a manager or with your fellow student or a co-worker, and how did you manage that?
So a few months back, I have a conflict, you can say, with my supervisor. So I'm a supervisor right now, and I have like one more supervisor as well. So it's about the production. So the morning production amount is very high, but the afternoon production is very low because the sales are getting low. So I suggested to the manager that they should make less food for the evening staff, because we can't sell so much food, and every then the waste count is going high. So the and but the morning baker say that they can't even control, because they have to put at least some amount of things in the showcase to like show our variety of foods. So they have to make. So and that time I suggested them to make the least amount of food, like, and decrease their production capacity, so we can decrease the waste as well. So that's the last time I had a very conflict at my workplace.
Okay, but how did you solve it?
So I solved it to like to decrease the amount. So like, I figured out that what is the most what is the most eaten food in the entire store. Apart, like we right now where I'm working at Tim Hortons, and they are having around 18 to 20 donuts. So I figured out which donut is the most selling and which one is the least selling. So the least selling donuts, we discontinue that in the afternoon, and the most selling product we just making the least amount of. So like for example, there is a donut named Old Fashioned, and which one is this is the least selling product of the entire store, and there is a donut named Boston Green is the most selling. So we just like figure it out, the least selling one and the most selling one, and we increase the amount of making Boston cream as well. So that how I'm
Sure.
handle the conflict.
Sure. So tell us, why should we hire you and no one else?
From my background, I also come from a lead as a leader. I have experience of leading my team, and right now the course I'm pursuing, I also face many conflicts in my course, but I also like still I get the good marks and still get out of the every problem. Right now, I'm also working on a capstone project, which also helping me to deal with the inventory. And because the problem we are solving is the inadequate inventory management. The company we are dealing with, they are having inventory, their problem in the inventory, and we are trying to solve their problem. So because of, and with the help of that project, I am getting experience on inventory as well. Apart from this, I'm right now where I'm working. I'm working as an inventory manager as well. Whenever Tim Hortons get any truck of their product, so it's my duty to stock them according to their priority. So I think I have enough experience and I can work good for the company.
Sure. What would you say are some of your weaknesses?
Some of my weaknesses is just like I want my work on time. I don't like delays. But sometimes delays are also important because delays give us an exposure. Like sometime if we have to complete by 4, but after that the rain comes, then we get an exposure for like for the next 5 hours. That what thing they how are we gonna change the plan? But I like to submit my work one day before or 1 hour before at least. So that thing, I think, this is one of the most weakness, that I want to complete my work on time.
Okay, but that is not weakness, right? That is your strength.
But like sometimes I face it as a weakness as well, because I submit to work very early, and after that, the teacher tells me that your work still need some modification. That in the class, so suppose like this is our meeting before the class, but some students are having a meeting after the class. But so it's possible that in the class, teacher will suggest that you can do this as well, and but I will not do that now. So sometimes I face a problem because of that, my punctuality.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any questions for me?
No, I really don't have any questions.
Okay. So so we officially stopping the interview here. But don't stop recording. I'll give
No,
you
no,
some
I'm not.
feedback that that also needs to be.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. So so I'm a job preparation counselor and I help people with resumes and interview skills. So my feedback to you, I would want to tell you about your resume as well as your interview. So when your resume, I feel required some layouting, modifications which I have shared with you
Yeah.
already. Also, when you're doing your resume, have very clear structure to your resume, like, different sections. Like the first section is your contact details, one line of what kind of jobs you're looking for, your highlights of qualification, which is basically your experience, skill, your education, as well as your reason for wanting to apply to this job. So why are you the most ideal candidate for this role? So that is what your highlights should mention. Thereafter, your experience, and the experience should be in the form of the role that you have, the name of the organization, and thereafter the years or the time that you've spent in that organization, followed by your education. And a lot of times I do suggest to people that if the job that you're applying for, your education completely aligns with what they're looking for, have education on the top, and thereafter your experience. So see what the job description says, accordingly change the layout of your resume to what should come on the top and what should come later. But that is what I think should be there. For you, you should also speak about your technical skills, because operation management requires certain softwares that you should be aware of. So highlight your knowledge of those softwares. I think that will be important. So that is broadly for your resume. Cover letter, I thought was okay. Not many changes in that, but always do, align your text properly, look at the format, see the bullets are okay. So that is some basic hygiene that you need to follow in the resume. For your interview, yes, I feel when you're speaking about tell me something about yourself, there should be 4 to 5 points covered. Again, something about your experience, something about your education, something about your soft skills and technical skills. I think what you emphasized most was about your education rather than your experience. You're currently working at Tim Hortons, which is also providing you some valuable experience. So bring that into your first answer itself, and just some summary of your skills, soft skill and technical skill should be there as per my suggestion. Also, when you spoke about weakness should always be followed by what are you doing to overcome that weakness.
Yeah.
So be prepared.
And I've thought about that.
Yeah. And again, a very generic suggestion would be, don't give very, very don't give a weakness which is aligned with your role. So your weakness is not really your weakness. Your weakness is your strength. So think of something else which is a weakness, which is more generic, and also think of how you want to overcome it. Always just give one weakness, but speak of multiple strengths that you have. So so that is something that you should be doing. And I think you should have had some questions prepared for me. And please do that always in your formal interviews. Go through the company website, go through the job description. If you're speaking to the HR, if it is your first interview, ask them things like, so what are the next steps? Where do we go ahead from here? When do I hear back? Whatever, those general questions. But if you are interacting with, say, a manager or a supervisor, then ask them things about, so what do you think are the most critical skills for this role? Or what do you think are the hurdles that one comes across this role? Always have 1 to 2 questions, to ask to the interviewer. I think that is something that you need to be aware of, and you should. I mean, it is expected that a candidate asks some questions so that it shows that you prepared.
Okay.
Okay. So that is broadly my feedback on the interview. Okay. So I'll stop recording now. You also stop. Yeah.